because you want to do 160. Anyway, I don't want to tie it up. I don't know who else is in here, but I'll shut up for a minute. Just wanted to get my station, my normal station on the air. K1KBW. Downstairs, cellar dweller.
No, it's just us hooligans. You're not breaking anything up. Good evening, Bob. You sound great now. You did before. You really, like Blaine said, you really got that thing sounding good upstairs, so good evening.
Yeah, well, don't forget, Perry, that's just the flex. You're not hearing the flex here. You're hearing my E-rig. That's a huge difference.
Oh, yeah, but like Blaine said, you were sounding really good on the flex. But yeah, I can tell you're on the E-rig now. Absolutely.
Yeah, slightly more power, like 100 times. That's what I say.
I used to do that to my neighbor's dog, man. He used to love it. Come jumping up on me, lick my face.
Oh, no, you do that to dogs, and they tilt their head, and they look at you kind of funny, like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, when you guys have done that, my dogs looked at the computer when I'm on the SDR, wondering what the hell's going on.
Oh, yeah, they do. They tilt their head, and they go, what the hell is that?
Well, forget their hearing goes a lot higher than ours, so they might be hearing harmonics higher up past the monkey squeal. They could be hearing artifacts, like I don't know, stuff way up in the 25 and 30 kilohertz. Kilohertz. yeah, the stuff way up there that dogs can only hear.
Right. Yeah, Blaine, you don't need the vacuum variable to bring the heat sink, so we got to drill and tap them. That's got nothing to do with the vacuum variable.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying to build the thing, I got to get the vacuum variable, I got to get the cores, and I got to get some aluminum.
Right. Yeah. Well, I have some aluminum. Let me think. The coal. I got to give you the number for the cores. You get those at Mauser.
All right, yeah. I mean, there's no rush to build this thing. It's just I'll acquire the parts, and when I start getting everything together, because I'd hate to start building it and they go, oh God, I still got to order this. So I just want to start ordering stuff and get the stuff in and make it like a weekend project. But I'd like to take, I don't know what to do with that 500 PF Comet vacuum variable that I have, because I got to do something with it. Build another 75 meter RF deck? I don't know.
Well, why would you build another 75 meter?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. What am I going to do with that vacuum variable?
You can build a 40 meter deck.
Actually, would that be too much? No. Well, I guess it would. Yeah, I guess it would work. But oh my God, I talked on 40. We don't even have propagation here on 40. It's local propagation doesn't even exist on 40 anymore. Well, if I want to talk to someone out in California, yeah, but why do I want to do that?
Yeah, well, eventually 40 will come back.
Yeah, well, if I have any problem with this 10-tech cap in my 80-meter deck, actually, I'm going to look around for some chassis, some rack mount chassis. I know they sell 19-inch rack mount chassis, the full thing. I just have to cut the back out or something, or take the back panel out and just put the heat sink in. But something like that would be good for the RF deck. And I'll be right back. Got to go drain the log, N1GTU.
Okie dokie. You should have built the bathroom downstairs there.
My fat ass needs the exercise going up and down the stairs. I'll be right back.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, what?
Yeah, K1KBW, WB2MMR. Just turned the radio on and came back on the frequency it left at, and you sound great. Are you back on your E-rig?
Yeah, I'm downstairs, yeah. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't think you ever heard me talk on the Flex before, Ron. You've always heard me on the E-Rig. I mean, I'm using the Flex, but only for a receiver and to kick off the E-Rig, but you're hearing the E-Rig, not the Flex.
I've heard you on the Flex before several times. In fact, you would get on there and say, well, it probably doesn't sound that much different than the E-Rig, and it didn't. It sounded very good. Of course, it wasn't, going out to DC to light like your E-Rig does, but it sounded very good. So, today when I heard it, it sounded good, but it didn't sound anything like this.
Yeah, well, don't forget, I'm using the same audio gear running when I used to run it into the Flex as I'm running on the E-Rig, so it should sound almost identical. So, and I'm not running any of that. I mean, I have an SCOM processor. I have a 3630. What do you call it? Compressor limiter. I'm using it for a hard knee limiter. That's an Alesis and a dual 31 band EQ. I don't have none of that upstairs.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. That's a different audio chain that you're using now than when you were using that earlier today. All right, I was just curious if you came to any conclusions yet.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to get that thing on the air because I've had it for a couple of weeks and I couldn't get it on the air because my computer upstairs wouldn't run it. I had to get a new computer. And I know one thing: I'll never buy a new computer again. Not when you can buy a refurbished Dell. The guy's Microsoft. He works. I guess he's Microsoft authorized to refurbish the Dells, and it's an i7. It's a 9020. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's got a 500 gigabyte solid-state hard drive, a 1 terabyte regular hard drive. It's got Wi-Fi. I don't know. I mean, it's got everything for $355. You can't beat that.
I'm back. Sorry to phone call.
Yeah. No, that's great, Bob. So just quickly, what exactly are you doing there? It sounds like you're running two different stations now. Do you have two Flex 5000s? I mean, and one downstairs and one upstairs? I don't know exactly what you're running.
Yeah, hi, Perry's back. Yeah, I bought another Flex for my upstairs station. That's the one you heard me on earlier. Reason why I got it is because that one's loaded. That's not this one here has got the second receiver and the antenna tuner, but the one upstairs got the second receiver, the antenna tuner, and the 2 and 440 module in it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, great. All right, so it's funny because you kind of did the opposite of what I did. I was in the basement, and I moved my whole station upstairs here now. Plus, I got the Anon at the same time. I sold the Flex 1000 and got the Anon 7000, and I moved upstairs because it was just too cold in the basement. I was getting tired of that, and then my furnace would go off, and it would just overload the radio with more audio, and so I moved the whole station up here, and it's nice and comfortable now.
Yeah, well, see, this isn't really a basement. I mean, it's a raised ranch. This would be the rec room. So I'm just slightly below ground level. I got the shelf and the windows. I'm looking right out the window. It's got the shelf on it. So I'm only about 4 feet down into the ground in a raised ranch. This would normally be the recreation room. It's big. It's 28 by 15. That's my shack. It's huge. I got a coffee table. I got full-size couch, a full-size sofa chair. I got all my keyboard and all my music equipment down one end, and all my radio stuff down this end. So the shack is huge.
Yeah, so obviously it's air conditioned and heated, or at least heated. Yeah, very good. It's good to hear you back with that great audio of yours. All right, just curious, Bob. I'm always, snooping around here, and I'm wondering what people are doing. All right, I'll catch you later. I think Perry's in there. K1KBW, WB2RON is clear.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Perry said he's back, so, yep, it's cozy down here. I mean, I got a refrigerator, yeah, it's heated, I have air conditioning, we have central air here, so, I'm all set. Anyway, Perry, go ahead, I'm going to grab me an adult beverage, but I can hear you because it's only 5 steps over to my left.
I said, you should probably just be able to lean over and grab you one. Yeah, real good. Good evening, Ron. You sound great as always. Probably the best sounding D104 on 75 meters. You sound great. Big signal. Always hammering this way. Yeah, I gotta be comfortable in my shack, man. My shack. I live in a real old house, and this house is probably built probably early 1900s, late 1900s, very old. And the front, years and years ago, I guess there's a front porch, and it's been finished now for quite a while. But it's kind of skinny, it's narrow and long, like a porch almost. But you would never know it's a porch if you were in here. You could just tell from the outside. It's probably 10 by 20, maybe 8 by 20. So everything's kind of jammed in here. Pretty much maxed out as for what I can fit in here. But it's comfy. Everything's got to be cozy, The lighting, it can't be. I don't like real white light. I like some kind of yellow type of warmness to the light, and everything's real, neat and has its place. And there's a lot of stuff, but it all has its place. You know what I mean? So I enjoy it. This is where I spend most of my time in here, and I have 2 monitors set up on this computer at this station. This is my Dell XPS 8700 i7 processor, and then 250 gig solid state drive, NVIDIA 1080 Ti GPU video card, 27-inch 2K monitors, the main monitor, and a 27-inch 1080p monitor, 24-inch 1080p. And I have up on one of those, mounts, them telescoping mounts you can get from Amazon. But I got another computer at the Bodager station, same thing. And like I said, I'll stream the Phillies games out here on the computer, and the hockey games and stuff. And so I spend most of my time when I'm home in the shack.
Yeah, hey Bob, K1KBW from the other Bob, N1XBM.
Hey Bob, N1XBM, K1KBW. Yeah, I'm real comfortable down here, Perry. I've got 3 32-inch monitors down here. One of them's the TVs, the one the far right, and then they got the other 2. And man, I don't even need my glasses I don't wear glasses anyway, but for reading I do. But I don't even need them. It's the 32-inch monitor. The screen is so big, and the whole thing is full of the Flex software, and on the screen in the middle, that's where I have the mod monitor up there, and my diversity reception. I got the ESC, so I can electrically steer the antennas, and that's on my center screen. So look, it's like a damn space station down here. Plus the rack with all my audio gear and stuff, and it's real comfortable. Anyway, Bob, go ahead, XBM.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, I've been speaking of adult beverages. Whenever I return bottles, I can't drink beer anymore. Just, gives me crazy indigestion. I can drink, whiskey and rum, vodka. It doesn't bother me. Something in beer does not agree with me. But I've been buying these like alcoholic seltzers, and they don't bother me. I really like them. But it kind of cracks me up. Natty Light and Bud Light have got into the seltzer market. They're a little pricey, but I just, when I return bottles, I just buy a 12-pack, and it lasts me quite a while. But I like them. They're not bad. I'm drinking Bud Light seltzer tonight. And, I got the different flavors on them. But anyways, that's what I'm having here. And, I'm in this is the upstairs shack, which I'm in most of the time now. And, downstairs shack is heated, but the house is only one zone. So, and the thermostat's up here. So that one, it can be kind of chilly. I haven't been using it as much lately. I tend to operate more from up here. It's more comfortable. And, I got the same thing, computer monitor, with the receiver on it and all that. I think that's getting pretty common with a lot of guys now, especially with the cheapness. I hear a lot of guys now are just using 32-inch TV monitors, or as monitors, because they have HDMI inputs, and that's becoming pretty common. As a lot of guys are just buying. You can buy a Vizio or something like that at Walmart, and you can do one with all your ham radio stuff. You can do another with TV. Some guys, they got, like Bob said, like the space station, mission control. They might have another one with cameras for their on-property CCTV system or something. So it's pretty elaborate. And the monitors now are getting pretty cheap. You get a pretty decent one. So that doesn't surprise me. But this is that's what I call the hybrid station. I'm on the Johnson Viking 2 transmitter, but I'm using the kit-built Softrock SDR receiver. So a little bit of the new and a little bit of the old on this station here.
Nothing wrong with that. These are 3 TVs. They're Samsungs. I won't get anything other than Samsung. I'll tell you, they got an incredible picture on them. They're just unbelievable. I haven't seen anything that can beat them. And so now I've got 3 of them. And I mean, they're all TVs, but I'm only using one as a TV. The other 2 I'm using for monitors. And they're just fantastic.
That's exactly what I'm doing here. I went to the store a couple years back looking for a 28 or a 32-inch television to use as a monitor because I wanted to be able to watch TV down here. And I looked at it. It was say $259 or something, or $289. I got, might have even been higher. It was like 3-something. I don't want to spend that. I looked over and they had a 40-inch for $250. And I'm just going to use it as a freaking computer monitor to do Pro Tools and maybe throw a web SDR up on. And so I bought it, and that's my screen here. I have my Mac hooked up to this big 40-inch monitor. Then I got a little small, an old style, 4:3 ratio monitor, the old square ones, and that's displaying my REA modulation monitor. And over to the right, I got my Flex monitor, which I think is a 22-inch old school flat screen. That shows my Flex software. So, you're right. That's it. You go down to Walmart or BJ's and you get yourself, for around 100, maybe 150 to $250, you can get yourself a decent television / 1080p monitor. Well, now the monitors, the computer monitors are now they got the 4Ks and the 8Ks, and you can get into that crap. But for what I do, The 1080p's are fine, so they're nice and cheap now. It's a way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no software or anyway. Programming in 4K is very little. It's minimal, and most of it's up converted anyway from 2K or from 1080. So there's very little true 4K. Yeah, I kind of did the same thing. I have a 40-inch when I was in the basement. I had a 40-inch high-def TV down there that I was using for just playing back movies, and then use the HDMI cable from the computer, and I would display the SDR radio on it. But the problem I had was it was just too close to me. It was too big. So, of course, it would only be, like 3 feet away, and it was overwhelming. But I like that idea of using the modulation monitor on it. Wow, I never thought of that. Just display a 40-inch VU meter on that. That's pretty nice. Funny thing is, I took that 40-inch monitor because I have no use for it anymore. It's not a monitor, it's a TV, and I have it on Craigslist. I've had it on Craigslist now for about 4 months. Trying to get rid of it for $50. It is a 1080. It's got the HDMI input, and I'm just trying to sell it for $50 because I have no use for it and getting no offers. So can't even get rid of them anymore.
Try.
That's amazing.
Facebook, but Facebook Marketplace is a pretty decent place to sell stuff now too. I've sold some stuff on there. I bought a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace.
CRT color televisions here. One is 19 inches, and the other one's a 36-inch, that I bought back in 1998. And it was pricey, but I needed a TV, and I thought it kicked butt. So now it's been sitting there in a spare bedroom, taking up more than 36 inches of space. And I thought today, I said, oh, you know what? I got a friend online on Facebook that's into the retro gaming. He's buying all those old RF-based retro game consoles. You had you have channel 2 or 3. You could slide that little switch back and forth. He's getting into all that stuff, or he has been. So he's got a bunch of old stuff. So I said, So I sent him a Facebook message, and I said, dude, I got some cool retro TVs that would be perfect for your retro gaming. So he responds back. He goes, what kind of inputs does it have? Is it like 3 RF inputs? It's got 3 component, 3 composite, 1 component, and an S video input. So I think he's going to eat this one up because he could have 3 RF consoles going into each input, and then he could feed for the newer consoles the old yellow, red, and white audio cables and the yellow video cable into the back of it. So you get all his retro gaming fun.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I like the 32-inch monitors. They're just about the right size. They're not too big, and they're not too small. At least for me. I mean, because they fit down here. They fit perfect. And you've seen them, Blake. And yep, Samsung, man, and they're not expensive either. I got both these TVs for nothing. Bobby brought them down to me because he bought new ones. He bought the curved screen ones, so he didn't want these anymore, so I got them. So anyway, so you can't beat that price. They're free. So and I had a Samsung. It's the same as the one I have, the 32-inch Samsung that I had for TV down here. So everything matches. They're all the same. And it's nice. It's nice having, and they're kind of at an angle. One of them I'm facing right at it, and the other 2 are tipped out on the outer edges and tipped in on the inner edges, so it's kind of like a wraparound. It's kind of nice. And anyway, yeah, Blaine, get your butt over here, and we'll do those heat sinks up and get that 160 deck going, because we get on. I've been on 160 quite a bit. This is the first time I've been on 75 meters in probably 2 weeks.
Phoenix, the band's been crapping out, but like I was saying to Perry earlier, I don't even bother tuning up 75 because everything's set to 160 by the time I get home. And if I was to retune everything and fire it up on a frequency, find a clear frequency, tune the tuner, reroute the audio and all that crap, I'm like, the band would go long by then, so it's not even worth it for me to get 15 minutes of talk time. So I've just been leaving it, but I noticed last night the band stayed good for a while, so now we're into almost 7 o'clock here, 8 minutes to the hour, and you guys are still coming in good.
Yeah, the band's holding up good tonight. Usually it's gone to crap by now, so this is going pretty good. Bob, you need to have the button there like Matt Lauer had, so you can buzz people in and buzz people out of the shack now.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I can lock the door here so nobody can get in, but yeah, and now on a sad note, I don't know if any of you guys knew Tom, K0 Uncle Louie, he died. I just found out about it a few days ago.
Yeah, I didn't, unfortunately, know him, but yeah, Howie, W3MMR, passed away recently as well.
Yeah, it seems like it usually runs in strings of 3, so must be one more lurking somewhere. Uh-oh.
I'm knocking on wood, man.
Yeah, me too. Right on top of my head. But I ain't getting any younger, man. I'm 75, so don't know how much longer I got.
I've been doing research on the Social Security site, what age I can retire. People are like, that's a long time away. And I'm like, no, it's like 14 years, 15 years. It's going to put me into my mid-60s. I said, and you know what? The last 10 freaking years have flown by, so actually the last 15 years have flown by. So if they're still going at that rate, I better start preparing because I'm going to be of retirement age in the blink of an eye.
They go faster as you get older.
Yeah, well, I mean, and young people don't realize that. Oh, well, you got plenty of time. No, you don't. Because once you get up in your late 40s and 50s, man, all of a sudden the clock just starts really flying fast, and it seems like a couple of weeks, and there's 5 years gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. I'm starting to reach the peak of that big 5-0. It's coming up in October. I'll be 50, so I know when you get 50, you get old and you forget things. Says myself from when I was 11 years old. I think I got to see if I can dig it up. I got an audio cassette, an old cassette tape somewhere of me when I was like 11 years old, pretending I was 50 years old. I was an old man. And I kept saying, when you get to be old, you get 50 and you forget things. And I got to see if I can find that recording, because that'll be perfect for my 50th birthday.
You forgot where it is.
Well, that doesn't happen to everybody. I'm 75. I haven't forgotten a damn thing.
I know, but it's more funny, just the perception of what 50 years old was when you're 11 compared to 50 years old when you're 45 or pushing 50.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as you keep busy playing, which, and I don't mean physically, but mentally. Like I'm always building stuff. I'm always doing something. I'm always aggravating myself with, that flex drove me crazy because I looked it up and it didn't work. And I go, oh man. And then I let it sit, and I got up the next morning, and I turned it on again, and the damn thing came on, and it was on for like 2 or 3 minutes, and the screen went out, and that was it. I shut it. I turned it back on and rebooted the computer. It came back. Hey, it's working. Oh, now it's working. And it did the same thing. Went off again, and it wasn't working no more. So Bill says, he said, Bob, take it out of upstairs. Take it downstairs. Pull your flex out downstairs and plug it in where your flex. Because he says, everything's working down there. Okay. So I carry the thing down here, and I take my flex here. I take it out, put it on the couch, and put the new flex in here. Plug it in. Do you think it worked? Nope. It wouldn't work at all. And I'm going, oh man, the thing is broke. Brought it back upstairs. Hooked this flex back up. Went back upstairs. I said, you know what? I have another, what do you call it? Firewire for a PCI slot. I said, let me try that. It doesn't really fit because it's a short one, but it's a Texas Instrument, and the one that I put in there wasn't a Texas Instrument. I said, let me try it. I plugged the damn thing in, it fired right up, and the darn thing started working. I said, you son of a bitch. There's certain Firewire cards that the flex, because the software just doesn't match up to it, and it just ain't gonna work.
Man, I'm not frustrated, huh, Bob? Well, I hear that from a lot of people, but I know some people that are on your age, and they keep busy, and some guys, they just plant themselves in a chair, and it's not good for you. You gotta do something. Like, I know what you mean, Bob. Like, you don't have to be running
road races, but you gotta be doing things, something, if it's crossword puzzles or what. You gotta do something with your time. And I hear that from a lot of people. I know a few people that are retired, and they just try to keep busy with things. It's not like you got to be lifting weights and all that, but yeah, I know what you mean. You're doing things. It's just trying to keep your mind going, keep yourself sharp. Don't let it go to mush. It's a muscle, that thing you got between your ears.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I've also been keeping up at work. I just stopped doing bail enforcement just a month ago. Which just a month ago I was out chasing bad guys, so I was physically doing stuff too, but now I'm not. But I always keep my mind busy, always working on something, building Class E rigs, and I built this new one. This Class E rig I'm on now is only a few months old. I got it on the air during Near Frost. I brought it up there, showed it to everybody up there. I hadn't even gotten it on the air yet. Brought it over to Steve's, W3MMR, and fired it up for the first time. Because I wanted to fire it up there with him because he's used to digital drive. This was digital drive. All my other Class E rigs weren't. Well, this was digital drive, and it's different because it only requires 2 watts to drive out of the flex. The flex loves this E-rig because my flex only's got to put out 2 watts, so it really likes it. And so I just got this on the air, and now Blaine wants to do a 160 deck, so he's going to bring that over. We're going to put together a 160 deck, me and him. So I keep busy.
Yeah, I'll pick it up here. Let me see if I got it. I'll have to make this with my last transmission for a little bit. I got to put some plates away in this thing. You brought that up to Nearfest. I just kind of I had to put my E-rig away for a bit. I hadn't been on the air for a while, and I just kind of grabbed the E-rig and looked at the other day and had to refresh my memory on what you do wrap this thing up, because the RF deck is probably 80% done, maybe more than 80% done. And I just stopped short. I got tied up all the things. Look at this thing. Here we go. But I remember when you brought that up here. Steve's house. And bring it up and make sure everything's good and all that. So yeah, I remember when you brought that up. So that's good. How did Bobby work out? He got that Commander amplifier, if I remember correctly. And did that end up going off without a hitch when he got that home?
No, actually, no. He had some problems with it. Hey, dummy, use a dummy load. There's somebody in there who just keeps throwing hanging carriers. But yeah, no, it worked, but it didn't quite work right. So he's going to work out some issues with Bob N2OAM, and he's going to take it to the guy that supposedly checked it out before he sold it. And the guy's going to take a look at it, and I think it's an input problem. Something's wrong with the input, one of the input capacitors or something like that, and it's nothing major. I mean, it puts out plenty of power. It's just there's a problem with the input tune circuit.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like the guy that sold it, really got a good deal on it, but, he spent a fair amount of money, but for what it was, I think, sounds like the guy's helping him at least with it, or coming up with some sort of resolution. Okay. Yeah, I got a Commander. It's the HF1250, but I got a wire. That's a whole nother story. I'm probably not going to do anything with that until down the road. I'm not going to get into that now. But initially I was going to wire in a 220 outlet up here, and then I decided against that. I'm going to hold off. But I think the HF1250 that I have, like 8 watts of input on AM, I think will give me about 250 to 300 watts. And I got that from a friend. And he says it's all working. There's nothing wrong with it. And he bought it brand new. And it's got low hours on it. So I'll probably employ that. I don't know what I'll do with it. If I'll set it up for like a 160 meter type station, or what I'll end up doing.
Yeah, very good. I've got the Ameritron AL1200. Matter of fact, it's right here in front of me. Which that's going upstairs on an upstairs station, because run 20 watts out of the flex. It's just not quite enough power. So I don't use the Commander down here. I don't need it with the E-Rig, so I'm going to put that upstairs. That's another reason why I got the new flex, because I got this amplifier. I'm going to put that up there. And so I got to do that. So I got a lot of work to do on that. I'm going to help Blaine do his 160 deck. A lot of work there. Bill's going to is gathering all the stuff for a 24 fetter. Going to help him get that done. I'm also building another modulator using the ferrite cores rather than the air wound coils. So I got I got plenty of stuff to keep me busy. That's for sure. K1KBW.
Hey, Bob, how's Bill doing anyways? I heard him the other day, and he was like running 2 watts or something like last weekend. What was he just running 2 watts, or is he having issues, or what?
No, he bought a software-defined radio. It's a little thing. I don't remember the name, but it's a QRP rig, but it's it's got it's an SDR, and it's got the screen and everything just like the Flex, only of course it's smaller. And it does I think it has 12 or 15 watts on sideband, but it only does 2 watts on AM, because it transmits too. So he keeps that in his kitchen. When he's on that, he's either in his kitchen eating breakfast or eating dinner or something. But then he'll probably get on a little bit later and turn his E-Rig on. But yeah, he's been playing around running QRP.
Well, I'm fairly close to him, and I heard him. It was during the AM rally. He was working W3MMR. I kept hearing him, and I hear about K1, keep America great. I kept hearing, so I knew it was him, obviously. And he's saying QRP. So I didn't know. How come I didn't go to bed? Want to say hi to Bob? His name's Bob.
Hi.
That's my daughter, Caitlin. I gotta go see. She's getting ready for bed. Anyways, so yeah, I heard him the other day, and I heard him say, he said 2 watts. I think I heard him say. Okay, so he's doing all right. He's just playing with a new toy. All right, I'm gonna back out here for a little bit. I'll be back a little bit. K1KBW from N1XPM. Hopefully someone else is in the woodwork there to pick it up.
Okay, Bob. Hi, Caitlin. Yeah, I got a granddaughter. Her name is Caitlin. Call her Katie. That's a great name. I like that. Anyway, all right, we'll catch you. K1KBW.
Yeah, see you, Bob, and hello, Caitlin.
KDW, K1BOY.
Sounds, good night sounds good. Anyway, man, the band's really holding in there. God, everybody's so strong still. Shoot, usually, man, I'm home from work at 6, and the band's, been long for a half hour to an hour.
Yeah, that's been a problem. That's why I've been hanging on 160 because, I eat dinner, I come down here and I turn it on and I listen for like 2 or 3 minutes and boom, the band's gone. I go, screw it, and tune up for 160 and get on 160. So I've just been leaving it on 160 for the past couple of weeks. But it's holding in here. It's somebody said, I think it was Blaine said it held in last night. So I figured, well, maybe it will tonight too. And so far it has. It's 7:08 and it's still hanging in there. Somebody else keyed up. I don't know who that was who was trying to get in there. But the other station, go ahead. This is K1KBW in South Central Connecticut. Yeah, you're on sideband, guy. I'm on AM.
Okay, but I'm reading you 100%. Yeah, okay, I'll slide over to AM.
Okay, I just switched to sideband. I heard you say you're going to AM. I can't transmit on sideband. Uh-oh. What am I doing wrong? Oh, boy. I'm underpowering this thing. I'm going to have to make a change here. But, yeah, switch over to AM because I cannot transmit on sideband. I can receive it, but I can't transmit there.
Dropping a battery, etc. I don't think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'll pick it up. Good evening to the sideband if you are now on AM. The call here is W3MMR, Whiskey 3 Mike Romeo. The name's Perry. Papa Echo Romeo Romeo Yankee. We're in Chester, Pennsylvania, 7 miles southwest of Philadelphia.
I don't think he switched over yet, but anyway, you got Bob here in Central Connecticut, South Central Connecticut, calls K1KBW. So let's see if he switched. Have you switched over yet? Yeah, I think you're on 3870. We're on 73.
Okay, 75.
Yeah, I couldn't copy him, Perry, because I'm running synchronous AM, and all I heard was a squeal.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we're on 3873, buddy. You're on 3870, so slide on up to 3873. Yeah, my sync detector was going crazy as well.
Yeah, okay, any better?
That's better, but you're on 75 now. Now you got to come down 2 KCs.
You getting there?
Well, at least I could copy him then, because he wasn't that far off.
Yeah, I know, me too. Well, anyway, well, good evening to the breaking station. Man, it's nasty. I don't know if it's still raining, but it's just been miserable all day.
Yeah, it's kind of raining, drizzling, then it would stop for a couple hours, and then get a little bit of drizzle. Hey, it's better nice and snow, that's for sure.
Yeah, we've had no snow here. I mean, some flurries, but that was it. It's been so mild. This winter's been very, very mild.
Yeah, same here, Perry, and I like it that way.
Yeah, see, if it's got to be cold, I would rather it snow. You know, I don't like this in-between miserable crap.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, that breaking station, where'd you go? Did you get down here on 73? Yeah, I don't know if that was him. I didn't. I couldn't switch over to sideband quick enough.
No, that wasn't me. I'm on switch the tag.
Okay, now you're on AM. You're on our frequency. There you go.
Well, I'm on that wasn't me. That was someone else. K1 Victor Ocean Yankee for ID. Yeah, how's the audio there, fellas? There, over.
Yeah, so you're double. Somebody's doubling with you. I don't know who it is, but I didn't copy it.
Got somebody else on sideband. Somebody's in there calling somebody else on sideband.
Yeah, okay. Someone's doubling.
Yeah, okay. There you go. I heard you that time. Go ahead.
Well, how's the audio here, Bruce?
It's okay. You know, it's not hi-fi, but I copy okay.
Yeah, I got a bad element here. I'm gonna have to change it over. Oh, here's K1 Victor Ocean Yankee.
VOY? Okay, you got K1KBW here. I'm in South Central Connecticut. Where are you located? What's the name?
My name is John Juliet Oscar Hotel November, and I'm located in Cape Cod.
Yeah, I heard you say John, but you took a deep fade and I didn't catch the location. Where are you at, John?
Cape Cod.
Oh, Cape Cod. Okay, right. You blasted in that time. Yeah, the band is kind of jumping up and down like James Brown here. My name is Bob here, John, and I'm in South Central Connecticut. I got a pretty good direct shot at Cape Cod. There's nothing in the way. Anywhere else, I got mountains all around. I'm in a volcano with one open side, and that's towards the Cape.
Really good. Oh boy. Yeah. Bob. Yeah, I'm gonna do something with this audio. Yeah, I'm gonna change the elements on this mic here. I guess it's had it. I heard you talking about age. Age here is 90.
Whoa, yeah, you got a few on me. Yeah, I'm 75, so I thought I was getting up there, but God bless you.
Yeah, well, I heard you guys. I was copying a mail while I was doing some soldering here on a printed circuit board here. But, yes, the age here is 90. I heard you guys saying 75 and 50 years old. I said, boy, I wish I was 75 and 50 again.
Yeah, and I wish I was 50, John. I remember my 50th birthday. We had a big party here at the house, right here where I'm at right now. My 50th birthday, but man, that seems like 100 years ago.
Yeah, you can say that again. I hope I'm not doubling with anybody. I got a net coming up here at 8 o'clock here. Simplex net, yeah. And, the age here is, I don't know, what you say, I don't know what's coming tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you got to keep your mind busy and you got to keep doing stuff. It doesn't have to be physical, but mentally you got to keep sharp. I'm always building stuff. I just built this one. Just got on here a couple of months ago. This is a home-built, home-brewed Class E rig, all power MOSFETs run legal limit, and digital drive. Only needs 2 watts to kick it off to run legal limit, and I got a bunch of other stuff in the process that I'm building, so that's how I keep my mind going, because I just retired physically from doing physical work just a month ago. I'm a bail enforcement agent in the state of Connecticut. I'm still a bail enforcement agent, but I stopped doing it about a month ago. So chasing bad guys up and down all over the place, and but I kept up physically, but now I got to keep the mental thing going, and I got plenty enough to keep my mind busy, John.
Hey, how about me and you get together here sometime and in person here? I'll tell you why. How about it?
Yeah, no problem.
You know why? Because the job, you say chasing guys up and down. My job was SP, State Police here, Massachusetts.
Oh, really? Yeah, I worked with the police a lot. A lot of times when we're after somebody, we'll call them and they'll give us backup and stuff. And I was actually on the state police back in the 70s, and I was only out for a couple of years, and I don't know, it didn't. It didn't fit me too good, so I quit. And but I like doing bail enforcement, and worked a lot with all the different departments, state police, the town police, and all that. So yeah, just retired from that just a month ago.
Well, happy retirement, and I hope you many more years here. Yeah. But I've retired here, 26 years on, and retired, and threw it all in there, and hung up everything, and said to heck with it. All I'm doing now is collecting my government check there. That's about it.
Yeah, well, basically that's what I'm doing now. I got 2 pensions, and I spent a lot of years in the military, but I have 2 pensions, and of course my Social Security. So I can't complain. Plus, I just stopped working doing bail enforcement a month ago, which that was pretty lucrative. That was, and I also just before during that I was also a bondsman. I did bail bonds, and that was very lucrative. But I didn't like getting guys out. I like putting them in, so that's why I rather done the bail enforcement rather than the bail bonds.
Hey, I'll tell you, the reason why I said we gotta meet, me and you, because I guess between the both of us, I guess we could write a bestseller. What do you think?
Oh, you got that right. Yeah, I got a lot of stories I can tell, John.
Yeah. Oh boy, I got to laugh at what I did remember and what I went through. Okay, I got a call for chow here, so I got to get upstairs before she puts it back in her freezer there. When she calls, I got to jet. Oh, well, she puts it away, and that's it. Then I got to do my own thing. Hey, nice talking to you. 7-3, K1 Victor Ocean Yankee.
Okay, very good, John. Yeah, and there's a lot of other guys in here too, so I'm going to shut up for a bit. And nice to, yeah, we'll get together. We're usually here on 3873 or 3875, and if we're not here, we're on 160 meters on 1885. But yeah, we'll get together and talk over some stuff and. Like I said, I got a lot of stories. I'm sure you got probably more stories than I have. I do the cooking here. That's another thing I do. I do all the cooking here because my wife is still working. She's a lot younger than me. So, and she's still working. So I do the cooking here. So, pretty much. Once in a while, on the weekend, she'll make like baked ziti or baked macaroni. macaroni or something like that, but the rest of the time I do all the cooking, so that's the least I can do, because she's still working, and she works a regular 40-hour week. So, all right, John, we'll say 7-3s for now. Jump in here more often. Well, like I said, we're here, and jump in. So I'm going to shut up for a minute, let these guys get back before the band goes long. Have a good one. K1KBW.
Yeah, okay. Just tell me, bring back the 160 frequency again.
Yeah, 1885.
Good enough for catch-up. 7-3.
7-3s, John.
Anyway, I'm gonna jump out of here, Bob. Good evening, John. Big signal down here in southeastern Pennsylvania name's Perry. What a pay to call is W3MMR. Chester, Pennsylvania, 7 miles southwest of Philadelphia. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, Bob and Blaine, if you're still listening, and everybody else. I'm doing the other lay on the couch, watch the hockey game. And we'll catch up with you guys a little later. Great conditions tonight. Things really were on the up and up. 7-3 guys, W3MMR.
All right, 7-3s here, Perry. It seems like you're kind of fading, so maybe the band is starting to go long. It's almost 7:30, so I'm surprised it held in there this long. So, but it sounds like it's starting to go long. And if it is, I'm going to be going down to 160. So, anyway, have a good one. Nice talking as always, Perry. So, was it 2 or 3? MMR, K1KBW.
3, I'll see you.
Okay, W3MMR. K1KBW.
Oh, it went long, Bob. Finding yourself over here in the cheese country. Sounding good. Ain't it hurt Perry, probably on his Dixie 100. What's up?
Who's that?
Oh, man, there you go with this stuff. Been listening to your old tired voice for probably 15 years. Voice modulated carrier. Man, when you're getting old, you gotta turn that hearing aid up there, Bob.
Robert. Okay. No, you were in a deep fade, and I could hear you, but I couldn't pick out the voice, but I could hear you. So how you doing there, Robert?
Not bad. Doing pretty good. Shoot, just was fooling around here and heard your big tones rolling in. I take it you're on your Class E rig. And I was hearing Perry pretty good too, so just caught it when you guys were mumbling something about the band going long. So just here to verify it. Yeah, man. So what's going on in the Class E world?
Oh, not a whole lot. I mean, this is a new one. I just got this one on here a couple of months ago. It's a 24 fetter, same as my other one, but my other one was analog drive. This one's digital drive, Robert, and it only requires 2 watts of drive out of the flex to drive it to full legal limit.